Let's keep the topic focused on mobile device privacy and security. So let's touch a little bit on phone apps. Many of you probably install apps for everything, such as like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Amazon, etc. But did you know that you can increase your security and privacy by using these services in a browser? By installing the app, you're giving up a lot. You'll need to allow permissions on your phone that you may not want or don't even know that it might be using. Let's take the example of the Amazon app. If we check out the Amazon app on the Aurora store, we can see by viewing the Exodus report that there's 2 trackers. Now let's back up a little bit. What is Exodus? Exodus is an organization that analyzes Android applications in order to list embedded trackers and list permissions that the application might require to run. It also flags really dangerous permissions that you may not know it might be using, that you might have some concern with. So we see that we have 2 trackers for the Amazon app. One is for ads and the other is for analytics. So right off the bat, we know it's calling home for multiple reasons. If we move on to the permissions that the app will require, we see we got a whole bunch. From camera, mic, to fingerprinting, to location, and recognizing physical activity. I don't think there really are any permissions left to take. Oh, hold on a second. I don't see making phone calls, so that might be a good thing. So let's take a closer look. So besides the trackers, we also have permissions that the app is going to require to get installed onto your phone. Now we can see that we have location. Well, that's pretty much a given for Amazon. They're going to want to know where you are. It's got the ability to take pictures and video, get accounts, read contacts, read external storage, record audio. I'm just going over the more high-level permissions that it might have. Right to external storage. And yeah, but you can see all the sub permissions that we have here by gaining some of these top level permissions here. So you can see why you really might not want to install something like the Amazon app when it really does work in a browser. By opening the browser on the phone, and I recommend something that's extra secure such as Brave, or if you have a custom ROM such as Graphene, it may already have a more secure web browser installed, but nevertheless, go to the Amazon.com website and log in. Yes, you'll still need to log in, but let's take a look at what information they might get from your browser. So IP address, okay, they'll get that. Browser agent, okay, they're gonna get that. Browser fingerprint, okay, they're gonna get that. Some cookies and stuff, yeah, okay. Okay, let's look at location on the browser. Well, they already know your location really, because if you ever ordered anything off Amazon, they're gonna have your address and they're probably gonna know where you live. But nevertheless, they can always get your location based on IP address. And if you haven't always been using a VPN, they can just correlate this data to your historical IP. But remember, you can control location permission from the browser settings. So let's get real. You are contacting them. So of course they're going to get some information from you. The trick is to give them the least information as possible. Now, if we flip this, we can see what kind of information they can get from you if you installed the app. Well, pretty much everything. You already saw the permission list. So we're talking device information, device fingerprint, Wi-Fi details, contacts, full network access, and whether you're physically moving or not. Yes, believe it or not, it wasn't in the list that we just saw up here. If we look at the actual Aurora store permissions, we can see that it also has access to the physical sensors. So it may know when your device is just sitting on a table not moving, and it may know when it's in your pocket due to the accelerometer moving around and giving different values. Services such as Amazon work perfectly fine in the browser. The app is really there to bug you with notifications, to track you, and generally create a more general profile about you. Remember, you allow this by installing the app on your phone. So my recommendation is take some control back, don't install the app, and use the browser when you can. Other services such as FaceBag and Instagram, Twitter, for example, while still available to use over the browser, may not have the best user experience. Now, while I recommend not to use any of these platforms, if you choose to, there are some free and open source software applications that you can use to connect to these services, but only give them the minimum required information possible. You can check out a previous video I posted on how to use a free and open source app with Instagram. It will respect your privacy and only send the minimum amount of information back to the platform as possible. All right, guys, that's it for now. Check back for new videos as I plan to have a series of free and open source application alternatives. See you in the next one.